Hello, I'm Toycat, and I've showed before on my channel how you can save money by taking more flights. It is cheaper to make an indirect flight to the US, say via Norway or Dublin or anything like that, but here is something you might not have known. Sometimes you can save money by not taking a flight. By taking fewer flights you can save money, and by indeed not taking a flight that you have paid for, you will pay less than if you did. That sounds ridiculous, but let me show you what I mean today. I'm waiting for an Uber because I got on the wrong branch of the Piccadilly line, by the way. Don't know where it is, but it's a nice station. Nice place to be trapped for a bit. Okay, let's just pretend I took the right train to the airport, and here I am. It's the Virgin Atlantic building. Honestly, looks super nice. This guy gonna let me across? I guess he is. Honestly, super nice looking building. Today is gonna be a really good travel day, and I'm excited to bring you along, I guess. Is that what this video is? Oh god. There was an American in front of me at the security that had 7 police people in front of him, all of which, like, ready on their weapons, I guess you'd call it. And they're like, yeah, when the dog's coming in and need to give us more space. I have no idea what he must have done to have 7 airport police and some dogs come after him. But he was friendly about it. I should have asked. Is that one of the rules you don't say at the airport, you know, like the big list of banned words? You also shouldn't ask someone why they've got the police coming after them. Sad. Once I had some airport police follow me. You know, there's a fun story in that, but for now, we gotta go take a shower. Accidentally spent a bit too long in there, and now I'm running to the gate. Nice, normal travel day. It's gonna be good. If I make it. If not, this is how I save money by taking no flights. That'll be a good video too. Oopsie. Today I learned you can't take matches on a plane. Should have learned this long before now, but whatever. This is an exciting one too. This is my first time aboard, I believe it's called the Virgin Suite. It is a lovely little seat. You get the thing here, it turns into a bed. Standard, very exciting stuff. But then also, it's doored off. Also, unlike the other seats, you're actually facing towards the window. That's nice to me, like a nice little diagonal tilt so you can see the screen and see what's going on out there. It's very exciting right now, as you can see. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I'll let you know when I take off, and I'll read the menu in the meantime. Have you ever been on a flight where the seatbelt looks like this? It's like I'm in a car. Okay, we're gonna go fly places now, I think. You know what I love? Sleek hinge designs. I absolutely love this. Look at this, look at this. Ooh, isn't that satisfying? See the world differently. Maybe. Wonderfully enjoyable flight that was. Now I've got to go through the US border. Pro tip, look at me, first person off the plane here. And that is something you need to have in your mind when you're entering, especially most countries, but especially the US. Like, being the 200th person on a plane and the first is the difference between losing 2 hours of your life and losing none. Usually doesn't matter where you sit, but in some cases it really does. Although again, I've got no need to actually worry. It's just one of those habits I get into, and it's good exercise, so I don't get out of it. But let's go to control your passports, and let's enter the United States of America. Which actually leads us to the interesting little quirk of my connecting flight that I am about to maybe board, maybe not. So like I mentioned, America is generally one of the harder countries to enter in terms of just time and mental load. but I recently got global entry, and in exchange for just having all of my data and all of the background checks and lots of work and money, America lets you enter like it's a normal country. It's amazing. It took 20 seconds. I was like the first person there, but still, that was cool. Didn't even get any questions this time about how much money I have on me. Anyway, we're gonna connecting flight now, I think. Gotta stop recording too, in case someone gets upset about it. Airport security is always the most stressful thing because they always have their own set of rules and they act like you're an idiot for not knowing them, and so you'll do things that they've told you at other airports. They're like, whoa, what are you doing? Putting this in 3 separate trays, stack it all together like it's a giant pile. It's very confusing stuff. But I am through security and now I'm walking to my connecting flight. Except actually, you know, what's that about not taking a flight? Would you like the explanation now? I've got some time. I'm walking. I've got another flight in 34 minutes. And so I probably need to be on that plane at about 25. Wait, I need to be on that plane at about 9. Oh god, I need to run. But as I... oh god, how am I going to make this? Okay, my flight leaves in 29 minutes, and I'm in the wrong terminal. I'm going to get back to the run again. Just for a little bit. Maybe I have to explain this after my weird flight. Okay, so my flight that I am catching leaves in 2 hours. I've got plenty of time for that. But the flight that I intend to catch leaves in 29 minutes. And it's in a different terminal, so I have no time. I'm at the airport though, for a run. A little bit of a jog. Love some good exercise in my day. I'm convinced 90% of the exercise I get is running through airports. And walking briskly to security. It's good for you. Honestly, everyone needs a hobby, and I guess this is mine. Okay, my flight leaves in 26 minutes and I'm still in the wrong place. But I have a backup plan that you're probably going to see now, but I'm still going to desperately try to make it because it saves me 2 hours, not 2. You need something to wake you up, something to get you going again. And the airport run is perfect for that. Oh, it's congestion. Maybe traffic's funnier. Also, they have 5 Guys here. So jealous of people who live with airports with food like this. There are so many things that are wrong with the American airport experience, but having a 5 Guys makes it all better. Wish I could eat it. I wish. But I'm aboard my backup flight, not my connecting flight. Funnily enough, the connecting flight that I'm not taking is first class. That's what really makes it sting. A little bit extra. But such is the way these things have to go. Speaking of way things have to go, let's get aboard my Frontier flight, but late, which might cause problems. Might not. Let's find out.
Oh, hi baby, how are you? Where's your seat at?
31D.
Huh?
31D.
31D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there still space on the overhead?
There is, but she may move you back there, so just go back there and I'm going to tell her.
Gotcha, okay.
One of our best flights is on board the aircraft.
Hi, I'm in 31D, but they said you might move me. I just wanted to see what that meant.
Yeah, we're gonna put you in 30D, is that okay?
Sure. Bleep bloop. What the fuck is this? What am I looking at right now? I do not understand the wildlife here. What is his face? What is that little flap? Looks like he's got a piece of cloth there. Ah! Why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know the answer, but it's cute he has so many babies. Okay, there's an alligator over there, and I'm not sure if he's dead. He looks pretty dead. I mean, he could be enjoying a sunbathe too, but I guess what we'll have to do is just pet him and find out that way, right? I'm gonna wait for that. Why do people own vehicles like that? Honestly, why do people own vehicles like this? So, update, got my flight. I made it to Fort Lauderdale. And I picked the option. I always do this when there's a car rental option that's like, save money, we'll pick the car for you. And I was like, go on then. I assume that means they'll give you a very small car. I mean, what does very small car mean in America? Who knows? But in Florida, apparently you choose for me means, oh yeah, you could have either the pickup truck, the other pickup truck, or this, which is the mini pickup truck option. Look at the size of this. It is, you have a full car here, like it's 5-seaters, like this would be a car, and then you have this whole bed that you can just choose to sit in. It's like, this is wacky to me. You can just, you can bring a giant picnic bench along with you, wherever you go. It's very bad for everything. But yeah, I've been driving around Florida, apparently in a pickup truck. It's almost like, it's like, a part of me's like embarrassed, but another part of me's like, yeah, I love to drive around Miami in my vehicle. I don't know if that's offensive around these parts, so I'm going to stop my accent, and I'm going to tell you about how I got here now. If you're curious why I laughed, by the way, at the end of that, it was because the car next to me was from Texas, and I remarked about that. And then as I was like recording that silly accent, they were coming back to their car, and I was like, oh no, this is. I think I'm making fun of the native people of the land I'm in. That's a party foul. Anyway, yeah, look at this thing is ridiculous. I hate it's like so hard to like get anywhere. But I guess American roads are wide enough that it's not a big problem. But a big problem is when you overpay for flights. So allow me to explain exactly how that works. I'm at the airport, I need to get home.
Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and 1.19.60 has just come out for Minecraft Bedrock.
Do you wanna see how I record this video? Look, so here is the face cam over here, and then over there, that's my like changelog.
I've arrived at the airport so late that no one's in queue again. I've got to go before I finish this story. Okay, it's incredibly empty on this jet bridge. I've got to finish this story. So here's the deal. Pricing works based on origin and destination, not based on flights taken. And so, okay, go. Okay, I'm finally home. I can explain this to you. That was one of the craziest airport rushes I've ever had. I was so sure I wasn't going to make that multiple times, but just a pro tip, you always can. You need less time at the airport than you think you do. When was the last time you heard of someone missing their flight? Anyway, something that's more important than not missing flights is getting flights for cheap. And so let's use an example fare here, because airline prices are not based on anything logical like you might assume. It's not based on what it costs the airline, or it's not based on how many flights you take, because as an example flight here shows, if I want to fly to Las Vegas on my birthday, it costs a lot of money, £734. Wow, prices have really gone up in the post-pandemic era, doesn't that suck? But you can see it costs £734 with a connection in Dallas. So I fly from Heathrow to Dallas on BA 193, and then from Dallas to Las Vegas. This cost me £734, and I look at that and I say it's too expensive. I think I'll save the airline some money, I'll get a cheaper ticket by flying just to Dallas, right? Dallas might be just as good for a holiday, but you know what happens if I change my flight to Dallas? Even though it's the exact same airline on the exact same day, BA 193, they charge me £140 more, even though they now don't have to buy me that second ticket from Dallas to Las Vegas. What is the deal with that? Why will they buy you a ticket and then save you, they'll save you money to give you an extra ticket? The reason for this is because pricing for airlines is based solely on origin and destination. There are two factors in an airline ticket, and basically they can assume from certain destinations like Las Vegas, if the prices get too high, you might just go somewhere else. You've got lots of alternatives for holidays, but if you go to somewhere like Dallas, it's probably for work or to visit family, some reason like that, and they assume you're a little bit more price inflexible. If they say you need £100 more for the ticket, you're gonna have to pay it, right? And so this assumption of how much people can pay is a really complicated thing happening in airline systems everywhere, but it basically leads to very expensive non-stop flights because people want those more, and it leads to it leads to illogical pricing, if we're being totally honest. And so now let's move on to a hypothetical. Let's say you were in Mexico for your girlfriend's best friend's wedding, and then hypothetically you broke up with the girlfriend just a bit before the wedding, and then she doesn't go, but you've already got flights booked from Mexico to London because you need to go home from there because you've been in America for a while. So let's just say hypothetically, pure crazy situation coming out of nowhere here, and let's just say those flights are in business class, and let's ignore the prices of those flights for now because my god, post-pandemic world, am I right? But let's just ignore the price of those flights and say you take the Delta flight flight in business class, and yeah, you take this nice connection. It costs £3,500. Wow, what a deal you get. But you know, you look at that and you say, actually, on the way back, I don't need to go back to Mexico, hypothetically, right? Let's just say you want to book the ticket and you want to be back in America. You've got reasons to be there, and so you want to change the flight to go to Las Vegas instead. Maybe you have a place in Las Vegas. Ooh, they want a ton more money for that. So instead, you do exactly what you did before, and you say, well, the stop is in JFK, or the stop's in Atlanta, as you can see right here. Surely I could just ask them to take me to Atlanta, and then I could say I don't need that final flight anymore. Do them a favor, they could take that seat and they could give it to someone else. No, it will cost you more money if you want to do that. Also, it's trying to book me on Iceland Air. If you want to fly the same airline, it costs £8,960. That's £5,000 more. What is the logic on that? And let's say you're going to Miami. Let's just say, you know what, you change your mind. Instead of going all the way to Las Vegas, you want to go to Miami. It will cost you, where's the Atlanta stop here? I don't even see it. It will cost you £8,000, or you can take 2 stops and it costs you $4,000. In other words, they want thousands more pounds from you to take a different flight, or to just not even take your last flight. So you've got 2 options. Either you fork over the money, you could say, that's ludicrous, but I mean, what can I do? Or you could say, wait, doesn't a flight from Atlanta to Miami cost £16? My flight costs $20. I think that's about £16. Let's find out, actually. Oh, you can only convert dollars. But yeah, it costs $19 US. It's a very, very affordable flight. 24 if you book with Expedia, because you're an insane person who books with travel agents in the year 2023. But yeah, it's still like you can book that flight for just $20, and you've got an idea, right? What if you take your London to Mexico flight, which is the only way this doesn't cost all the money in the world, apparently. You got an idea, you take the London to Mexico flight, and then you just say, actually, you don't need to take me on that last leg from JFK or from Atlanta to Mexico City. This is called skip lagging, and it's really heavily discouraged by airlines, because airlines know if you want the official ticket that gets you all the way there, you will pay them thousands of pounds more. You have no other choice. They know that the actual destination you're going to is more valuable than the destination you're otherwise flying to, and so it's really heavily discouraged. It's a very little known about secret, but you can save, in this case, it's literally it's like £5,000, but in reality, you can usually save between $50 and $500 by just picking a different destination and then maybe, you know, getting off in between. There is all sorts of downsides to this. You can't do it regularly if you want to collect frequent flyer points. If you do it enough times in a row of the same airline, they might prohibit you from traveling in the future. In Germany, the airline tries to sue you for it. They've never been successful, but like, you know, you might run into some issues because they want the money for the place that you're going. But if you just get out and maybe you have an issue, maybe you just decide to stay at the airport and miss your flight, then what you could do is, instead of getting on this Hartsfield-Jackson Airport to Mexico City flight, maybe instead you could get on this 7 p.m. flight from Atlanta to Miami. And if you did that, like maybe happened to me, instead of paying thousands more, you pay a way lower price for your ticket, and then you get this lovely £16, $20 seat, and you enjoy a Frontier flight, and it takes you to Miami. The lesson from this really is that airline systems are so broken, they don't work the way that you think they do, and you can save a lot of money if you know how to get past them. I've actually made a whole book about this, but I rather than recommending that, rather than saying go read a thing, let's be honest, you're on YouTube, you're not here to read. Instead of reading that whole thing, I've actually got a YouTube video that you can watch on basically the same subject. It's something I'm very passionate about, and if you follow this channel, you can see some of the weird things it's made me do. I actually I had a $50 flight from London, like $50 to go all the way from London to Canada, Canada to Canada, and then Canada back to London, and I showed it off on this channel. Some of the weirdest things I've done on this channel are for cheap flights, and that is how I managed to fly from Mexico to London, back to Miami, and do it while saving money. I mean, you know, are you saving money if you're spending £4,000 on a ticket? But yeah, I spent less than this. It was a while ago, but still, you know, prices are high. Am I right? You know what? The only thing that isn't high is though my subscriber count. If you hit subscribe, then it's probably good things happen. But you know, actually, no, I'm not going to do the normal subscribe pitch. If you like this channel and you want to see more stuff, of course you should subscribe. But if you're not really feeling it, if you only were going to subscribe because I said subscribe, please don't. Don't subscribe. I don't agree with your doing that. In fact, maybe unsubscribe. If you were on the edge about subscribing, don't stay here. Get out. That's the ending of my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the skies. Probably on the ground, actually. That's where I spend most of my time. But I'll see you around. Maybe.